me, Nerdette. Welcome back, Tristan.
Thank you for having me.
And today, as you probably see from the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about what I feel is one of the better of the creator-owned books. One that I never thought we would see coming from Jeff Johns, of all people. But, Geiger.
Are
What?
you
Oh,
are you echoing?
I just realized I was. I just stopped it. Sorry. Yep, I didn't mute the other windows. Whoops.
That's funny.
So yeah, we're going over Geiger, and start off just with a little general impression. What'd you think of it?
I love Geiger. It is one of the best. It'll definitely end up when I do like the best stories of the year. It'll definitely be one that is on there. It was really good. Now, it came out right around the time Noctera did.
About a month's difference, yeah.
And so it was kind of hard because at least in my mind, both DC writers, I was comparing them back and forth. Um, oh, Noctera was better, but Geiger
Ooh.
was different. It was good. I don't feel like it was Jeff Johns' greatest work ever.
I will agree with that. I will agree with that.
I still love stuff like Doomsday Clock and his Green Lantern. Like, there's plenty of good Jeff Johns work we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very different, and it was very good in the sense that we learn about Tarek,
Mm-hmm.
who there was some super heartbreaking moments.
Oh
But
yeah.
it also felt like this 6 issues was more of a setup in a weird way for
Mhm.
something bigger to come. Like,
Yes.
he's doing a lot of world building in this.
Mm-hmm.
And
But still
I
telling the adventure of one character at the same time.
yes, exactly. Trying to pair both and introduce us to all the new characters involved in this absolute insane Las Vegas area. Like,
Yeah.
and it's fantastic. It's really, there was some, like, I can guarantee I cried at least once reading these.
Oh yeah. Oh, I welled up at a few moments, and then I cried at a few others when I first read it.
Yeah, it's
A
very,
lot of it
very
is
good. And
Gary
the art
Frank's
by
art,
Gary
yeah.
Frank is amazing.
Right up there with his. Funny you mentioned it earlier. Was Doomsday Clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just some of his best. Those two have really. They've had a great rapport as far back as their Superman run. That's when they started working together, and they haven't stopped.
You're right. Yeah, those two are like Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo.
Exactly.
It's like kind of or Brian Azzarello and Lieber Mayhew. Like, you
Yeah.
just kind of put them together.
Exactly. And with a little bit of Jason Fabok, who I gotta say, him and Gary Franks, I sometimes can't tell the difference when they're colored the
know.
way by Brand Anderson.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty amazing, honestly.
Yeah, but yeah, though with Geiger, yeah, it's a lot of world building, but I gotta say, I kind of prefer this over Noctera. In that Noctera, it loses points for me because it feels so much like he's making this just to pitch a TV show, whereas this, I never got that with Geiger. I more got to this, he's pitching a comic book universe he wants to make on his own.
Well, at least you made it clear for everyone that you have bad taste.
Hey, I didn't say I hated Noctera.
No, I
just
know. I'm
said-
just
I
teasing. But no, I do understand what you're saying. Geiger definitely felt like it was for the pages, whereas Noctera felt like it was for the screen and is already picked up.
Yep, definitely. It's already picked up. It was just about, I think it also comes from Tony Daniel's artwork. Not that there's anything wrong with his artwork, but it just screams, this should be on the big
Cinematic.
screen. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Brian Hitch's artwork. It screams cinematic.
Tony Daniels, though, his art is fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
the way he makes Val look, and I'm not trying to get, like, into another book when this is clearly about Geiger, but, like,
Right.
the way he makes Val look is so impressive. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so good.
Yep. But what I like best about Geiger is that it jumps around in history, but not in an annoying way like Morrison would do. Morrison, it would be so annoying. You're like, wait, where are we? When are we? What?
Oh, yeah. This gives us, like, right
we are-
from the beginning,
Yeah.
when we're introduced, like, this whole thing is the framing is we're hearing a story,
Yep.
and you don't realize who till the end who's telling the story,
And how
and
important he is. Yeah.
yeah, and then you've got this. And initially, I thought it was named Geiger because you see a Geiger counter like right in the
Yeah.
very first thing, and
Exactly.
then you realize that's also Tarek's last name.
Tarek Geiger. And yeah, there's what remains of Boulder City. So we know he gives us a bit of a tease of we know something's going to blow up this place.
Yeah, and you don't get that payoff until I think last issue, right?
Yeah, not until the last issue. But yeah, and it does. Now, I do love the dialogue here actually sets up a lot of stuff, basically saying how he declared he would not fire unless fired upon, but the revolt is unprecedented. They mention stuff like Junkyard Joe, his creator, is dead. The widow bombings, which we find out at the sixth book, is actually one of the unnamed. We'll get to that. They mention how this is basically an unknown war, which is what it's
Yeah,
also known as. It's just so
yeah.
much here that's built up, and then we find out nukes are ready to drop, and they're running to a bunker.
Don't we also get? I think it's in the last issue, the explanation of the different.
Yes, we do give an explanation
Okay.
to all these different people, yeah. But right now we just get teased, but we didn't realize that until the sixth issue. Now we look back and you're like, oh.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
I like how they do. Like they make you wait for the payoff. They do,
mm,
but it's so worth it because you're like,
yep.
okay, this is what's going on. We've got all these men throughout history, and they're gonna kind of dive into those. But
Mm-hmm.
Samuel said in the chat, Noctera is plot and action driven, Geiger character and world building driven. And I think
I
that's
would, yeah, that
a
is a good
good
way.
point.
Yeah, very much so.
It definitely is, and maybe that's why I love the I love Noctera because I love the action. But I do think this in the long run will pay off more than Noctera
I think
because
so too.
it is slower. The pacing's good, don't get me wrong. It's just a slower pace.
Yep,
And
and
it
yep.
definitely is something that we are going to see a much bigger story come from.
Oh,
And
definitely.
and we're gonna get the Kingsmen, all the people through history, all the
Mm-hmm.
weird ass people in that town. Like I love them, but they're so weird.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that mom, I think it was in issue 4, maybe when we see his
Issue,
mother.
yeah, yeah, 4, and then we see her at the end of at 6. We see her again at the end.
Yeah, we do.
But But yeah, but I will say this is the yeah, right from the opening was the well, actually no, before we get to that, one thing there is one plot point I know that Noctera and Geiger both share that but they're told very differently. We'll get to it. It's around issue 5.
Okay.
But you realize that. You're like, oh, but mostly because Noctera set it up a lot earlier. Geiger reveals at the end, but was secretly seeding it throughout the whole couple issues.
Right, and I love that. I love those little I love being able to go back through a book and realize what you missed
Oh
because
yeah,
you definitely can do that with this. Dr. Soup, I love her.
yep,
Um
eight soup. But yeah, they make their way to a bunker. Their dog
that
Molly is
part's so
barking.
sad.
Oh yeah, and just this one page of the dog just arf! But yeah, goes and gets them and think it's fine. But then the neighbors show up and they want the bunker. But there's one line that confuses me. Probably his people that started this. What does she mean by that?
Wait, who said it?
The neighbor's wife. Yeah, this is not good. But
I
he
know
says
exactly. You missed that.
no. I mean no.
She's racist.
Oh, I know. But what people? What race was he? That I didn't get that part. Is what I meant.
um you know that Jeff Johns is part, I believe,
Oh,
Lebanese.
that's true. That's true. You know what?
So
That's true. So Tarek probably is too. But they don't
Eric
make a big.
is.
Yeah, you're right. He is. But
So she's calling him a terrorist.
right, you're right.
She's using like
I missed that. I completely missed that.
yeah, he's a Muslim man, so she's going it's probably his people,
You're right.
because that was so ingrained in us after 9/11, and she's a
Yep.
little racist bitch. That's what it
Yep,
is.
you're right. And yeah, he tells them close the door, and they do. And then the bitch shoots the dog, shoots Molly.
Like how can you look at a dog and shoot it?
Yep. And then and if you look at it, There's Molly there, shoots him. He's right, and the dog's right next. She's right next to Tarek. It's like she said the dog flying. You realize?
Well, I love that. I love that. That he is such a good man.
Yep.
He's like, he sacrifices. I mean, the dog's one thing, but he sacrifices his life for his kids
family
and his wife, and that like last "I love you."
Yep.
Is
Oh yeah.
so heartbreaking. And then that's it.
Yeah. Boom. And if you notice the way it looks, he's technically blocked by sheltered a little bit by something on the ground, whereas the neighbors are sent flying. Good riddance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then next thing we know, it's 20 years later, and they get a bunch of scavengers. And again, great setup for all of this. Just they come on in thinking, hey, what's all this? They find a bunch of, was that supposed to be from cars? I think he's supposed to be a bunch of cars that he's got.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he makes this, big shelter wall. And, yep, no trespassing.
He looks so cool, but at first, oh my god, I'm gonna forget his name from DC.
Dr. Phosphorus?
He looks just like Dr. Phosphorus to me, and I couldn't get that. I was like, we're reading the origin story of Dr. Phosphorus.
Yeah, but again, I like it. Let's do this action. You find out how his abilities work. He needs to pull out these 2 sticks and everything to light up, but yet he's a good, strong fighter without it. And yeah,
and then we do eventually learn how that came about. He was able to harness that power.
Yep, and what's the whole point of the suit and everything? Also, we're introduced to Barney, the 2-headed dog.
Barney.
So do I. And hey, like he said, he looks like a Barney. And yeah, we just get all this stuff. Like basically, he's read all the books he's ever owned, and yeah, it's just like, what should we read? Hey, Moby Dick again? A Kiss Before Dying? Palace Walk? Junkyard Joe? Yeah, I know. I'm bored of them all too. What I wouldn't give for a new book, but nobody writes anymore. You know what? That would drive me insane if I didn't have anything new to write.
Yeah.
To read. Samuel's asking about the Wonder Woman trailer. It was more of a teaser.
I never expected in this entire world, not to sidetrack, that we would get a Wonder Woman game before a new before a Superman game, which is honestly, it's smart. They can go very God of War with it.
Oh yeah, what are going Shadows of Mordor with it?
Well, what I mean by that is they can use her Greek mythology, and you can battle Hera, or do what you. Oh my god, I'm so excited! I'm so fucking excited! I am so fucking excited for a Wonder Woman game.
What's getting me hyped though is the fact that the Nemesis system from the other Shadows of Mordor game, they said this is going to work not just on enemies but allies too, meaning you could save them and improve their stature with them.
Wait, in the Wonder Woman game?
Yeah. Because in Shadows of Mordor, you could basically, if someone kills you, because you can keep coming back, it actually raises their status, makes them more dangerous, but makes them more personal. That's why it's called the Nemesis system. So yeah, they plan on doing that with Wonder Woman, both with the enemies.
That is awesome.
Yep. But yeah, then of course
I think there was a delay for a second. Do you remember that Blue and Gold, where she was going through the different layers of hell?
Yep.
Oh my god, that would be so cool to do. Like, you gotta go in there and fight Beelzebub.
Beelzebub, yep. Oh, you're doing Liana's character.
This is Beelzebubs. I said Beelzebub.
Boob.
That would be really cool, though. I can imagine they're gonna do this really. Like, I don't know. I have an idea when it's coming out. I don't care.
Oh, in 2023, I think. Yeah.
And it's so fucking smart.
It is.
It looks so good.
And it tells you Warner Brothers knows who to give these projects to.
Yeah, I've never played Shadows of Mordor, so I'm curious now about it.
Just look up any Let's Play online. You'll see.
Oh yeah. It's so cool.
Oh, these are the same people who also did the Fear games. No One Lives Forever. They're the ones who also did that online game, Gotham City Imposters.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, where you play as these fake Batman and Jokers.
A Catwoman video game would be really... Yes, it would.
Yes,
I love playing as Catwoman in Arkham City and stuff. Like, that's kind of the best parts of those games.
Yep. But anyway, back to Geiger. But yeah, we have that whole setup about him waiting for his family, but he can't hear him because, as far as he knows, is because it's soundproof at this point. It's sealed.
Yep. Yeah, but I kind of feel like he was just in denial.
I think so too.
Like, it is sad that he thought they were alive for a long time.
We don't know that yet.
Right. But, like, how long was it?
Only about 20 years since. They still would have enough food in there by then.
I mean, they had 20 years worth of food in there. That's a long fucking time.
When you have a bunker like that, you fill enough to survive until the fallout is manageable, which usually is to be a lot more than 20 years. It'd be like you'd have enough food in there for, if you ration it properly, about 100 years.
Oh my god, but that would be a living hell. Like, I guess maybe you're right. Maybe I just assumed he was kind of in denial. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I guess there is a chance that...
Well, he doesn't know what happened inside there. He has no idea what happened. Yeah. So as far as he's concerned, it's closed, they're sealed, they're safe. The kids are growing up.
Why couldn't he just peek in?
He can't. Once it's sealed, it's to prevent any fallout from coming in. It's supposed to stay sealed.
I know, but can't you just peek?
No, because that would release... The moment you open... It would
be really hard. I would want to peek.
Yeah, well, that's true. But again, the moment it's open... I think it's also sealed from the inside, too, I think. So even then, once it's closed, it's locked.
Like, couldn't she just open the door and be like, hey, honey, I'm good. Just wanted to say love you. Bye.
Again, if she did it, she'd be irradiated right away. The fallout from there, there's a reason why they still wear suits. The moment you're open, you are washed with radiation that could kill you within a few days.
But we see people later on in the series that are... unwilling to wear suits and they're all crazy, but like they've been out in the air. Like I don't know, would growing an extra eye be worth knowing? Like I don't know.
And going insane.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. That would be a very hard thing to not.
Right. Well, that's true. That's true. But yeah, we're introduced to the king, or the king's son. It's really have this bit where he's basically trying to have him do this big drawing, and then the very next page he says, in fact, just start over. You're like...
The king is such a douche.
Oh, he is. I mean, but the fact that we're also setting up directly that you have this Safari Bob, who's apparently the leader of this grouping, and this boy is the son of the original king, and he really has I want to prove I'm better than my father complex. But yeah, when we pull back, we find out it's Vegas.
I know, and then it looks so good.
It does. And then, much like with Watchmen, we get all the ancillary stuff. Yeah, like there's Safari.
I love... Isn't that the one that has the little cartoon at the end, too? The little, like, fake... I love it so much.
Yeah, the Junkyard. Yeah, I love it. He basically... Junkyard Joe is so perfect. These other guys are like, Muddy, Bumbles, why did that 10-minute course take you an hour? I got a rock in my boot, Sarge, and I got mud in my eye. Then you say, like, you guys need to be more like Joe. He's the perfect soldier. But Joe's a robot. Now, the fact that it took them an hour tells you they're just bad soldiers.
Uh-huh.
But they take the wrong lessons, and they think, like, hey, I got an idea. They're about to drink some oil. Bottoms up. Wrong lesson, dude. Yeah, I love this. One of those jokes where you're like, wrong lesson.
I know. I love it.
Yep. But yeah, then the next issue, we don't even focus on Geiger that much. We focus instead on, well, a little bit of him. But first we get this couple who we see a little bit, but then they just fall off the story.
Wait, what couple? I don't remember.
The ones who found the football, as they call it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they basically are heading on over there. Hey, Ominous. Yeah, they show up, they undress, and they go inside ready to deliver this, thinking this is going to make their day. They'll get like a tower or something.
Yeah, because the football basically has all of the...
locations of the nukes.
Yeah, and of the nukes, yep.
Yeah, it doesn't have the launch codes. That's separate, but they do have all the locations of all of them. But yeah, we're also introduced...
Basically, you'll rule the world.
Yes.
If you have this.
Yep, but yeah, we're also introduced to Carolina, who is the mother of the two kids we'll be seeing. But yeah, so basically what we don't know yet is time has passed between the end of the first issue and here.
Right.
Because by this point, apparently, the King's already attacked the glowing man, as they call him, and has returned. Basically, we just get a bunch of other characters that we're casually introduced to, and then Carolina takes the blue bag that has the football in it, goes home. Now, we set up the stuff. The son is saying he's tired, and his sister just chastises him like, you're always tired. And all that.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of setting up for things to come.
Yep. But yeah, then the mother shows up saying, we got to get out of here. I know a perfect way we can get to NATO, the last bit where America is. We're going to make it there and, go right now. I got keys. I got a card to the elevator. And then the guards, one of the guys shows up, says, we have cameras everywhere. We know what you did. And they just kill her right then and there.
Yep. And the kids survive.
They survive. They run by squirting. One of them was the dish soap.
I felt so bad for the mom because she's literally just trying to do best by her kids. I mean, in a kind of fool's errand type way, but she's literally just trying to get the best life she can for them.
Oh, especially when she was reminded her daughter's about to turn 16, and the last thing she wants is to work as basically a prostitute or using her body. That's why one of her coworkers says, try shaving her hair, make her look uglier. Maybe she'll get a job in dishes.
Yep, instead of having to be a little hot.
Yep, but yeah, so they run down there. Again, the son is just like, this is too big. Do I do everything for you? Resizing. And they make it out there. They drive off. And yeah, you just feel so bad for the kids. It's just...
I know.
And then there's these big bugs. Of course there's big bugs.
Right?
Yep, and then Barney saves them.
I love Barney. He's the best.
Better than the dinosaur.
The dinosaur?
Barney the dinosaur.
Oh, like Barney is a dinosaur.
Yep. Yeah, but see, again, just such great artwork here. But yeah, they save the kids, and then he's like, there, and so before you go, do you have any good books?
So freaking good. Like, that picture is awesome. I love that he's asking the children, because he's fucking bored. He's read all those books. I love it.
Yep, but yeah, basically, and the king is so delusional, he said, I want my holy grail, all this. And then finally, when we see him, he is scarred.
Yes, from Dr. Phosphorus, from Geiger.
Yeah, from Geiger. And
I love how he looks, though. Like, he's such a fucking idiot. Like, they write him so you hate him. And that's kind of just how it's supposed to be. But you really just want to... You ever have those people in your life that just have a punchable face? That's
this guy. This guy. And the funny thing is, he's pretty much based off of a similar character from the Shazam book.
From the recent one with
the
stuff?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the ruler of that place where kids stay at everything. Yeah.
I remember.
But yeah, and then he wears this mask and everything, and he meets up with one of the other rulers of Las Vegas. But we also didn't get this stuff here, this classified files on Tarek.
I love her look, by the way. I love that flapper look, that like classic.
Old Hollywood.
Yeah, it's so pretty. She's so pretty.
She is. But yeah, we find out though that his organs aren't shutting down. Something is going on.
Ominous.
Yep. Yeah, something is going on with them, and they don't know. And it's made clear. It's never known. Is it the cancer that somehow is changing them all? Is it the treatment? No one knows. We don't know. But yeah, so that was this issue, and then the next issue is where we kind of start to connect a bit of the dots a bit more. Yeah, we find out that he has cancer, but he's meeting up with the kids, and he's trying to tell them, you should be going. Like he tells them, like, don't stare, things like that. He's just already starting to get a bond with these kids.
But when he got the diagnosis, to be clear, that was pre-bomb.
Pre-bomb, way before the bomb, and definitely way before the bomb. Obviously after one of the kids was born, because I don't think it was.
They don't make it clear how much time passes in between, but he definitely Did it? I don't remember. It doesn't. Does it ever show him telling his family about the cancer?
Oh, his wife is there.
Okay, his wife is there. All right.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. I wondered. I couldn't remember if that's maybe why he was so willing to sacrifice himself, but it works out in his favor.
Yeah, probably. Oh, look at this, the drawing here. He's only in, but he's partial. You can barely tell. Unfortunately, my camera's not doing so good. But you can see if, oh, jeez. I wish I could show it properly, but you can see.
I understand.
You can see his eyes, in this version. It's not full. It's not a full skeleton. He's partial skeleton. I think he only used one. Yeah, he only used one of the rods. That's why.
He was what?
Using only one of the rods.
Yes.
So this is a partial empowered.
He's not. Yeah, he didn't power all the way up.
Why would he against those bugs? Of course.
Exactly.
But yeah, then they tell him, their mother's dead. She was trying to get us somewhere, and he's willing to help. And then we get a flashback to the night, in between issues 1 and 2, where they come back. We see basically all the king's men show up, and he puts up a good fight, but then he gets knocked out by surprise.
Right.
And the king, what a bastard! He is just taunting him all the way. Yeah, he just has all this stuff like, "We'll take all the resources. This is the glowing man that everyone's talking about." Oh, those tails were pretty tall, weren't they?
Is that where he places his hand on him?
Not yet. Not yet. Because first we got to get to one of his men seeing the bunker, and he's like, "Stay away from it."
Oh God, I hate this part. No.
Yeah, he's like so, and the monster talks. Now I'm curious. Yeah, Tarek, that's the last thing you do. You do not, if you're staying quiet, don't then speak when it's something that's going to get you to reacting. That's always going to get someone curious. And yeah, they blow it open, and we find out the ceiling collapsed day 1.
Yep, they've been dead since the first day they went in there. It completely, hello James. It completely is gone.
Just caved in.
Everything, yeah. It's so fucking that was a tear-jerking moment.
Yep.
That was so sad. Because he's been protecting it. That's what's been keeping him going. He
even says that. He even says that in a moment. Yeah. He's like,
you just took away, it's like taking away somebody's hope.
And he throws his son's skull in the air and it crashes or breaks.
Yeah. It's so sad.
Now, I do like this. Now, this one moment with the king. He's actually, for a brief moment, he's like, well, whoever they were, seems they've been dead since the bombs hit. It's like a little bit more dry, but then once he realizes, oh, you knew them, then he gets into the mocking dickery. But for that brief moment, he's more curious. Yeah, a bit of humanity. He's like, oh, almost like, that's a shame. But he's like, oh, wait, you knew them. Ha 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 ha. They are all laughing. They all laugh at him. It's like, oh, and
then he powers up.
Yep, complete idiot. What idiot. But yeah, you took my hope from me. I have nothing now.
Yep, and every single thing that man had been protecting and driving forward and doing good and waiting, and it was all in a moment taken away from him. And the narrator the narrator later says it almost drove him insane. Yeah.
And I don't blame him.
How much time has passed between that moment and when he meets the kids?
I'd say days, maybe weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I wonder how long he would have lasted without any sort of hope in his life. And I think that's what the kids bring back.
I think Barney might have kept him going a little bit, but only for so long. But yeah, he meets up with the kids, and more of the King's men come following them. And we just get up, since we had a good accident earlier, it's just a brief, takes out the sticks, aftermath.
Yep.
But yeah, I said, let me see the map. As we get into the 4th issue, and this is where we get a little bit more of Dr. Molotov, who is the one who helped him, who, gave him the sticks and everything, and this is where we get a bit more explanation to how his abilities work.
Right, and that's kind of the best name ever, Dr. Molotov.
Yep, I love it, how they mentioned the dog's name is Barty. Barty? What? He looked like a Barty, but he even says, he was small when I found him, and cute. He's cute now. What are you talking about?
Totally cute. He's one of the I love when they give animals in storytelling, because it makes not only the character but the idea of the story more compassionate, and it makes the character that has it more enduring. Like they're doing that with Nightwing now with Holly. And I love it.
Definitely. But yeah, and then yeah, they're driving along, trying to explain a little bit more. I love it though, like saying what caused this. It's a long story. It's a long drive.
I know, and at first you can tell he's standoffish.
Oh yeah, but he can't help himself. He can't.
Right, and you know what's sad is I've been sitting here thinking for like 20 minutes. I can't remember the kids' names.
Oh, they don't mention it that often.
I keep wanting to call the little boy Emery just because of Noctera, but I don't remember their names. That's so weird.
Hold on, let me go to their Haley is the sister, and Henry. Haley and Henry.
That's what it is.
Oh, Henry.
I could not remember. Like, that's
no, I know.
They should probably fix that. That's an issue with writing. Like, repeat the names a couple times so they stick in our name.
Oh yeah,
in our mind. I mean.
Oh, and he didn't. I went how he made the dog fall in love with the kids. I think it's the other way around. I think he got the kids fall in love with the dog.
Well, I think it's both ways, right? Like,
yeah.
It was just like that symbiotic relationship where the kids really, love that simplistic idea of an animal, and they love animals are good judges of characters anyway.
Yep.
So it worked both ways. I love it. I love when they put animals in stories.
Yep. But I do also then like how we get the explanation from Dr. Molotov that the sticks are made of boron, and that he needs to keep them out. He can take them out to use it, but if he takes them out too long, he'll eventually blow up. And then
be careful.
Yep. Oh, this is where we get the mom, as the king keeps calling him the Beast.
I know, he's so mean to his mom, and it was
yep.
Like until I thought. Yeah, she's gross. Super gross.
She reminds me of from what was that reality show? Honey Boo Boo's mom.
Well, the thing is she's not like that willingly. You see at the end of issue 6 that she is just a normal person, but he has drove her to that point, and he's kept her captive, right? And
exactly.
And she fucking hates her son.
There is a little hint of a Trump thing, but then we find out later his father was a senator. Right there. That's his father. It looks a little Trump-like. Not exactly like Trump, though. Just a little.
I didn't get that. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, but it's also made clear that his father was a senator before the war, so obviously it's supposed to be more like a similar, but not exact. I think that's what Jeff excels at. Unless he needs to, he more goes with someone that's kind of like
on the screen again. I never even...
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It don't bother me either way.
But even says though, you know why I keep you down here, because I want you to suffer. Suffer for letting me suffer at the hands of father.
I mean,
yeah.
I get it, but I don't know. We don't know that backstory.
We don't.
Context is key.
Yeah, like I said, all he says was that his father was a senator before the war, and he's trying to get the launch codes and all that. Black Phoenix, you never heard of this book before? It's Jeff Johns and Gary Franks. It's
so good. It's one of the best indies of the year for sure.
Definitely. But yeah, we find out that one of the other ones, Goldbeard, is helping him out, but he's still worried about how Safari Bob's going to react. And that makes me wonder, what exactly is Safari Bob, makes him so dangerous? And he looks just like a normal guy.
I want to get, and I think we are, but there was a lot with those characters that was so quick, and then you go back to the main part of the story. I want to get a little bit more with those characters so we understand they're more, not two-dimensional characters.
Exactly.
That's what they feel like during this time, because they're just a subplot, right? So I'm hoping we get more, and I think we are. He's doing a good job of
the 80-page giant might do that.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm sure it's going to.
And I also like how it's just been 20 years. Their mother was alive to remember how things were before the war and told her kids about it. How, always feeling a great breeze. I always wonder what a breeze would feel like. It's nice. And then we're introduced to the Oregon people. Oh Lord.
These were the people I was talking about before that don't wear suits, and they're like cannibalistic
surgeons.
Monsters.
Yeah, they're surgeons basically where they would kill people, take their organs, replace them, and anything they don't keep, they eat.
Yeah, but that doesn't, in theory, that sounds terrifying, but in practicality, that wouldn't work.
You're right, but yeah, the rest of this issue is just a big action sequence just dealing with them,
Yep. Him saving the kids.
Yep. Actually, the 80 page comes at the end of the month.
It's not,
not February.
December?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
But unfortunately, those things are getting a bit more dangerous, though, as well. Very much like these guys, it's one of those, you get a group of insane people, they're way more dangerous than well-trained people. Because it's the whole idea of, you ever heard the old saying, the world's greatest swordsman does not fear the second greatest swordsman. He fears the worst because you never know what to predict.
Yes.
That's the same thing with these people. It's why it's a harder time for him to deal with them than the knights.
Yep, exactly, because they're absolutely.
Yep,
gross,
but in the end, but in the end, they're saved by the Americans. Oh, and I cannot wait for Tomasi and Brad Walker's Snipe and Slug.
Oh yeah.
Wonder what's taking it so long to come out.
I know. I thought that was announced quite a while ago.
Yep. Probably delays and everything. And who knows? Maybe it got delayed because he's working that one shot.
What one shot?
The Super Sons one shot.
Oh, yes. That comes out in February, doesn't it?
That I think it does. But yeah, that we then cut to, we get a recap with the narrator at the beginning. Explaining everything, and basically says that NATO was the last holdout of the NORAD. Was the last holdout of the United States, and Geiger took him there because that's where the kids wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as he gets on up, and follows them. Yeah, basically they say our mom found it, and that gives them a good reason to take him over there.
Yep.
But they also stun Geiger and Barney. And yep, Tavio's gonna flip. He already knows. Oh, I love this. When the king finds some of the Oregon people, why won't you answer me? Because you smashed his skull in.
He's fucking idiot.
He is.
I love it though.
Yeah, the third eye and everything, but he finds out they're going to NORAD, so he knows where to try and intercept them later.
Yep.
But yeah, they go inside. We find out that but more about the football, as they call it, how it was from Air Force One, believed lost. The vice president is in charge here. The president is elsewhere. And it does seem like a good place to stay at first.
They make it seem like it is generally a well-accepting place and a place where they could settle.
Yep, and we see this young boy, what's his name? I don't think they get his name until later.
Who?
Oh, Rick. No, Rick. The kid with the glasses.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah, he's weird.
He is weird.
Oh, but of course, the scientists stupidly take out one of the sticks and you're like, what's that? And I don't think we should have taken that out. Good observation. So, but yeah, then we get this bit. First, they're given food. Hamburgers and fries. If they're able to make that on a regular basis, keep themselves fed, they have a good system going.
Yeah, and they're so excited too. Like, for the simple things.
Oh, I love it. Geiger gets out. That a good book? I like it. Knocks him out and then takes the book. But then we find out what's going on with Henry. Leukemia. Early enough stages, but even if it's an early stage, they got to put him down. They can't waste their resources on him, which it's one of those gray areas. You understand, they're not being monstrous. It's not one of those ones where they're like, oh, we don't care. It's more like we don't want to. But even I love this one woman says, And for God's sake, get him some dessert. You know what I mean? Like, you so tell it's painting her.
It is, but it's also one of those things like when
Yeah.
they used to
Oh,
like expose babies that were girls.
Yep. Oh, just this. Look at that bit with Henry. Just that smile on him. He's just like, hi, thanks for everything. I just want to say thank you.
I don't know how you can look at it. It's just me. I get it, but I don't at the same time.
Oh, like, I know.
You can't do that.
But again, I do like how Jeff keeps it human with this one doctor. You know what I mean? Yes. Thanks to her. By having it be like, she doesn't want this. It's like, but if we make an exception for him, we're going to have to make exceptions for others.
Right.
Oh, you're playing Unavowed, Bianca? Great game.
I've never even heard of it.
You have access to that game. No, you don't. Sorry. Thought you said you did play it. You just said you didn't. Sorry.
No, I did it.
Sorry. Misunderstood.
Oh, no. That's okay. I've never even heard of it.
Oh, it's a game. It's one of those point-and-click adventure games. The funny thing is, though, it was meant to be a Vertigo book and game, adaptation.
Oh, that's cool.
Things fell through, but there's a character in there who's very much like Constantine.
Oh, that's awesome.
I knew that would get your attention. But yeah, but of course, Haley is like, she wants her brother and runs off.
Yeah. Yep.
And at the same time, Geiger is, catching up with them. Now, here's the bit, though. Barney attacked the guard. But and the nurse the lady doctor is there, and then she's gone. I hope Barney didn't attack her.
See, there was one. I had to go through this issue a couple times. They made one of the doctors, or maybe it was one of the military ladies. She had no hair. Yep. And I kept getting that confused. It was very similar looking than Tarek.
Oh yeah, but she has a scar.
Yes, and yeah.
But yeah, of course, then they're told we don't tolerate violence here. Send the best soldier they've got, and whatever. And we send Joe as they're powering him up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
As we get into the final issue, a double-sized issue at that, and this is where we start setting up saying America has always been at war, and we find out all these people called the Unnamed.
I love this. I love how they set it up. How they build upon what we've already learned.
Yep, from all the wars, from the American Revolution, the Immortal, from the American Civil War, the Historian, World War II, the Monster, Vietnam War, the Robot, the Unseen War, the Ghost, and the Unknown War, which is Geiger.
Right.
Yeah, as we find all this stuff out. But yeah, so yeah, they make their way in. Find him, and here's that moment I was talking about when he's told you're sick.
Yes.
Just look at him. I just welled up. That
was another heart-wrenching moment.
And it's just one panel. It's just one panel, and yet
it's enough. Oh, that's the thing. It was enough to convey the message of pain, and it was enough to realize what kind of pain not only he's going through, but his sister. The way that Tarek looks at those two now, and there wasn't. That was one of my issues. Yeah, his face. It's so one of my main issues was this, to put it nicely, I love the relationship that Tarek has with those two, but there wasn't a lot of build-up. There was a couple issues, but it didn't feel like I wish we would have seen more. I love him in this, he never got to, raise his kids. He never got to do this. This is kind of a second chance.
Right.
And then it's ripped away. And I wish we would have got more time with that relationship because there's not a lot of strong
Oh yeah.
And Bianca knows that was one of my issues with Arcane. There's not a lot of strong men, and Tarek was a good, strong, protective man.
Yes.
And I wish we would have got more time diving into those relationships that he had. Yeah, that it's.
I know. I think what's
that
better
issue. I definitely cried.
I think what sped it along, though, was him losing his family. So I think it would have been any kind of a kid that came up to him. He would probably eventually, not right away, but more grip onto them, eventually. I think that you got to take that into account, that he just found out that firm realization. If this had happened while he thought he was still guarding them, he would have been like, sorry, kids, fend for yourselves.
Right, and that's what I said. They ripped away his hope, and I don't know what he would have done had he not found these children. These children are the only thing that gave him back hope. And then he finds out about Henry having leukemia.
Which
and
is
it
why
was
he
just
takes
like,
him. Yep.
Yep.
He's
A
going to
cut
help
to
him.
the gut, and he's already been through it. He had cancer previously. I don't remember. Did they specify what kind of cancer he had?
Nope, just some type of cancer that's acting really weirdly.
Yeah. And I wonder if we'll find out eventually that it's something new that was able to, and that's why he was able to manifest a lot of his abilities. But
yep, but then here's a weird thing. Rick shows up with the hazmat suits already. How did he know?
I don't know. I don't remember.
No, that's the question. We don't know. It's the weird part. So it's like, how is he even already there? Why are you helping out? Oh, I don't really like the rules. But then as soon as they go in there, Tarek is punched by Junkyard Joe.
Junkyard Joe's so cool looking.
Oh, he is. And it's like the comic, the cartoon.
Yes, it's so cool.
And he never talks. But yeah, but then here's the moment though. His helmet melts, but at Geiger's touch, but not the head, meaning he's impervious to his touch.
Yep. Even fully powered.
Yep, even fully powered. He destroys one of the sticks, and then knocks Geiger around, and then the kids try and get the other stick.
Before Geiger blows.
Yep, before he blows. And then Rick shows up, and somehow with his help, they're able to pull it out, somehow. I think he still would have helped him no matter what, because that's the kind of man he is. True, but he would have more wanted to stay and protect his family.
I don't know. I'm on Hooded Justice with this one. If he still thought his family was safe.
True.
They were not you couldn't get in there. They were safe. They were in there. I don't think he would have just abandoned those kids. I don't think his character, the way they've built Tarek up, is the kind of man that would just abandon anyone. You know, heroes are supposed to help those in need, and those were kids in need. I think.
True.
And that's why I liked Tarek so much, because he was such a good, strong male character, and he really, he was a protector, and that was what we got to see from him. And I got an attachment to Tarek more than any character in the story, and that's why I was kind of like, God bless it. I want more of this character, but I get what Jeff Johns is going for.
Yep, but yeah, the kids bring in, and Joe just blasts them. Thankfully, he missed. He shot in front of them to send them flying. And we also find out that he's been reprogrammed to do what needs to be done. But then there's this line: "Are the stories about his creator true? Every last one of them." That's chilling. But yeah. And then what does Tarek do? He takes the rod, and because Joe's nuclear power as well, stabs it right into him, shutting him down. We see a hint of his creator before he goes quiet. And then Tarek, he tries to use the stick to fix himself, but it doesn't work, and it blows up.
Yep.
And but then the kids reach out, hold him, and he's able to control for that moment.
I know. I love how it's like, if I remember correctly, I don't have it.
His willpower.
They're not worried because they know they wouldn't hurt him.
He wouldn't hurt them. Yeah.
It's so sweet. It's so heartwarming.
Yep. And then Barty joins it. But then you have this bit like, Christ, Rick, what are you doing out here? His mother's going to kill us for this kind of exposure. Let's get him in before the general has our asses. The only general we know of is that black woman with the scar.
Yes.
That's his
mama.
Yeah, his mom. That was a nice, interesting reveal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then they're driving on. He's taking him to the place that could help Henry. It helped him. And he's struggling. He is struggling. Yeah, he's struggling. And then there's the king again. Ready to deal with him. But then blows up the ship with some of the rest of the knights, including the big mustache guy that killed their mom.
Uh-huh.
And then he tells them, 1 week, Boulder City. Also, those two that were working with him, they hightail out of there. Like, Bonnie and Goldbeard, they just hightailed out of there. It's like, see ya. And he says, like, bring all my nuclear knights. And then, he drops them off. They tell him, you're not welcome here. He gives him a fond farewell, and it's teared up. And Barney even stays with them. Barney follows them. He's meant to be left behind.
I fucking hate that part.
Yeah, but it's like he knows.
I don't understand. Okay, this was another big issue I had with this. Why didn't he stay?
Because they can't. They said we've been told to kill you on sight. You know that.
You don't follow orders.
But it's because we don't know what he did when he left. What happened to Dr. Molotov? We just know he was there. They helped him. Something went bad. And also that bit when she says, "You're different." Not really. I mean, again, it's a lot of questions we don't have the answers to yet.
But he shouldn't have left him. That's not very nice.
But he knew he was. I know. But
I hated it because I'm like, we got all this buildup. We got all this buildup of this relationship in this familial sense within the book. And he's like, see you fucking later.
No, it's more like, have a good life, kids. You've helped me in ways you've never known.
But
and
then he loses everything. He loses those
that we know of at the moment.
And Barney.
Yep, but yeah, he makes it there, has one last meal, buries his family, and then the stupid king is like, then he blows up. And okay, I don't like when they do this. I do not like this.
Yeah, that's a waste of space. We could get that in a very we could understand the point of it in a very
poor Barney. Poor Barney. Oh yeah, but poor Barney though. He saw the whole thing. But then we find out. Turns out that it has been years later. He said the kids found help. The girl, she was someone special to me once. And then he said the end of Geiger. The end of Geiger himself. No, Geiger's story was only beginning. And then there's the mother looking a lot better. There's Safari.
Isn't that the kid that was telling the story? Isn't that the military person's son?
Oh, you're right. I didn't realize that because his eye, glasses smashed. He's wearing an eye. Hey, good eye. I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that. I'm usually good.
God, no, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, there's the Queen, Safari Bob, but then the big twist. Turns out the general representing the president has been working with them the whole time.
Wait, what? Oh, okay.
Well, it was Bob anyway.
At first, I thought that was the little girl.
No.
That's the general from
issue 5.
Other facility, correct?
Yes, from the NORAD.
Yes. So.
Yep, her right here.
And I wonder if that's the one that looked like Tarek, and I was confused until the scar. But I wonder if her son, who's telling this story, if that's why he left. Because
I wouldn't be surprised. Surprised.
Yeah, and I love how, even from the beginning of the stream, all the little, pointing out all the little things. That was this weirdo, I guess essentially is what he was telling us this story the whole time because he came in contact and he realized how special this familial sense was.
Yeah.
He realized what his mom was doing. We got the little Junkyard Joe Easter egg in the very first issue. It paid off by the end. We got
they built it up.
Jew, and
Joe.
Or Jew. Did I Joe? Yeah.
Yes, you did.
What the fuck?
Junkyard Jew.
Gonna have to edit that part out. Yeah.
But it's interesting how the Queen cleans up very fast.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying when they showed her kind of trapped in the basement. She's a normal person. He's been treating her like this. And
it's monster, this
animal. Yeah.
Calling her the beast.
Yeah, and we see her later on, and she's cleaned up. She's a queen. She's directing people. She's just a normal person that was treated terribly by who
blamed her for her husband's actions.
And we don't know what those actions were. We don't know if she was guilty or not. So seeing her as a normal person is kind of a nice payoff because we see that a lot of the actions of her son were the problem. We see how terrible of a person he actually was.
And how terrible of a person her husband was. Yes, he is dead,
Okay.
and we know how terrible a person her husband was because the son's been trying to do everything he can to prove he was better.
Right. It's kind of a fucked up situation.
But yeah, there's the timeline.
I love that. I love that.
Every
I love that they
war,
give us those things. And in what we're talking about here,
the unnamed.
we'll probably in a year be able to go, well, this paid off. This paid
Yep.
off. This paid off.
Exactly, and we find out the Redcoat, the Northerner, the Monster, Junkyard Joe, American Widow X, the First Ghost, the Unknown War, and then Geiger.
I want to know who American Widow X is, because that's got to be a girl, right?
That was one of the things teased at actually in the first issue. Let me see the specific. Marks her second book on strange hauntings. No, wait. No, that might not be it. That's for the First Ghost. Where does it? Oh, here it is. Scandal coming out of the Pentagon as declassified files of the 1997 Widows bombing reveal an explosive tie to an American hero.
I didn't catch that.
Yep. But yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, next we're going to be getting Junkyard Joe next year. The book's going to be about that.
I don't like Junkyard Joe.
Well, I think it's going to be more about his creator that we're going to be liking.
I understand, and I get that, but we saw Junkyard Joe try to kill those kids and try to kill.
But he was
Eric.
reprogrammed. We don't know what his original programming was. He could have been no different than this.
And Derek. Yeah.
But yeah, so and then we're going to be getting the it looks like the 80-page giant's going to give us the origins of Goldbeard, Safari Bob, Tales from the Unknown War, Disco Queen, Milky Way, the Disco Queen, the origin of Barney.
Wait, who's Disco Queen? Is that the girl with the cool flapper?
No, that would be Bonnie Borden. This was This was someone else.
The Nuclear Knight. I love that.
Yeah, the last Nuclear Knight. Again, this was so great, and like I said, he's building this world that you have a feeling he's been wanting to do this for a while. Even though I never would have thought. I thought Jeff Johns was always happy at DC, but the fact that he's been working on this, I don't know if this has come out from working with Gary Frank for so long and that brought it out of him or something. I don't know, because I know Ivan Rice never brought this out of him.
Right.
And that was another one.
At a point in his life, just at a point in his life where he's like, I want to do something that's mine. I've done so much good for a lot of the DC characters, the majority of the big names, that I want to do something for me. And I think that's what he's doing. He could have very easily went to something like creating this story to be for streaming. He could have done that, but we clearly see. I don't think he did. I don't get that sense.
Me neither. This feels too big for streaming. Whereas, again, every design of Noctera, you could say like, yep, that's designed specifically for a streaming service.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I still love it. It's still so good.
But if I remember, this was supposed to be at DC. At least that's where we were supposed to do his Mad Ghost production. But then went to Image instead.
Well, I wonder, they should have... They are really dumb. I'm not going to lie. They could have done this with Dr. Phosphorus and gave him, retconned his original stuff and done it a little differently. And DC really
Black
missed
Label.
out on this.
Or Black Label. Or Black
Label, yeah. They could have done this, and this would have been a big hit.
Yes.
Let's be real. People would have loved this. Dr. Phosphorus is such a no-name character. I mean...
Yeah.
He's a little bit around
now. He's a villain, but this would have made him a hero.
This would have at least made us understand why, he left at the end, right? It would have made us understand. It would have worked, and they're dumb. They're bad.
But also, Brian Cunningham, who used to be a main editor at DC, is now working at Mad Ghost.
See, what is Mad Ghost?
That's that's his brand.
Jeff Johns. Okay.
Yeah, that's Jeff Johns' brand. That's his, own publishing. Not publishing, because he does the publishing is Image. This is his label. His label.
Yeah. And I know like Rom V and stuff have that too. I forget what it's called. But yeah. That is I love it.
I love also these words from Jeff at the end. Gary and I have been lucky enough to work on some of the biggest superheroes in mainstream comics over our long career of collaboration. But those stories were built on characters that were already created. We came to Image to unleash a new timeline of heroes. Heroes born out of the most violent days in America. Then, now, and tomorrow. Their adventures take place across the history of the United States, from 1776 to 2050. In our greatest dreams, we've always loved American myths like Paul Bunyan, Calamity Jane, and John Henry. We've called them the unnamed, which means those characters are also part of this.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and like this all started when my son was born. Aw, a primal instinct kicked in. A rush of adrenaline hit, and I heard those words echo in my head. I will do anything to protect my son. The raw emotion of that moment is forever with me. Having children of his own, Gary and I talked about fatherhood often. What our kids were going through, how we saw and we wanted to help them. That shared fatherhood is where Geiger really began. He will do anything to protect his family.
And that's like, I didn't read that, I'm not gonna lie, originally, but it is funny because that's a lot of what I've been saying throughout this stream. Like, you can feel that within this book. You can feel that sense of a strong male father, and that is resonating throughout his work. And Jeff Johns is super talented. We can't deny that.
Oh, yeah.
But when he works on the DC characters, you write for that character. Now he is able to take something brand new of his own and kind of put himself in that situation. I hate when people use that like excuse. It's a self-insert. Every fucking character is a self-insert.
Yeah.
You write what you know.
Yep.
That you can feel that.
Yep.
That familial bond.
Yep, but here's what he said about Junkyard Joe. Joe, we're going to go back to 1972, back to reveal Joe's mysterious origins, from a robotic soldier to cartoon character, as he seeks out his creator. It's a story born out of our desire for connection and family, a theme you'll see that connects all of these heroes.
Ooh. Okay,
So
maybe I do like Junkie. Maybe I do want to learn a little bit more.
Yep, I think that's what makes what happens in the end so bittersweet, meaning he found it, his creator. So we know his creator died.
Right.
And we don't know if Joe did it or not. And then he got reprogrammed into becoming this cold-hearted being that nearly killed a good family man.
Yeah, so I'm curious how we get from point A to point B. And that's what I like about these connection stories or these world building stories, because we may know where it's going, but learning the journey is the best part. Like, we may understand that he's gonna get reprogrammed, he's gonna get this, but we don't understand anything else.
Exactly. That's what makes it bittersweet.
We'll be able to connect dots. I love how he does that, and he leaves little hints all along.
Yes.
Right? And it's so good. Like, you not realizing that was the son. That's a little hint that he gave. And that person was framing the entire story.
Exactly. And even said, she was special to me once. It's like, yeah, but I will say this. The best part is, you want to know how much the trade paperback costs? A lot cheaper than all the issues together. $9.99.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I am not kidding you. I saw that. $9.99. That means they're intentionally doing this so that those who didn't get the issues can get the trades at a good discount.
Wow. I wonder what does it have the dimension? Is it like a
the same page dimensions.
Wow.
And it's thick. It is thick.
That also shows that they want
see how thick it is here?
Story.
Yeah.
Yeah. That also shows that they're not. You could price that for quite double, triple that, and it would sell a little bit. But with them putting at a lower price, they want
people to read it
as much. They want people to read it. They want that story out there so they can build their world. That's awesome. That's a really good deal.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. It is a good deal. Just $9.99. I don't need it. I got
digitally. I may have to just have it for a copy. Like,
order it on Amazon.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's like a manga price.
Pretty much, but at a regular comic size. Hold on, let me see how much it is on Amazon, because they probably have it on a discount.
Did you see Hominus in the chat? He said did you hear about Cowboy Bebop?
Yep, I'm aware, getting canceled and all that. But I gotta say, seeing Jen Bartel, that's a comic artist. We've seen her work before. It's to see her deconstructing so perfectly well, and she says, "Now that it's over, I feel I can say my issues."
Wait, what?
Jen Bartel. Hold on, let me get.
I know who Jen Bartel is, but what did she say about Cowboy Bebop or about
Cowboy
Geiger?
Bebop? About Cowboy Bebop.
Oh wow.
Yep. Hold on. Let me. I'll share it.
I love.
Don't worry.
Her art is phenomenal. That's the only way to say it.
Yep. Don't worry. This won't take a hit on my internet like it does with yours.
I know, it's so bad. I was like, this is gonna be weird for me. I'm not hosting, and I can just sit back and make you keep this stream going. I kind of love it. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Brian Hitch's red coat is going to be good too. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Brian Hitch is amazing. All of these all of these creators from across the eras of Marvel and DC doing their own thing is amazing. Like, the only people that benefit are, DC gets fucked out of it. We benefit. We get all these good stories.
Yep, very much so. Okay, come on.
It was garbage. Worst adaptation ever. Did you finish it, Black Phoenix? I couldn't. And I actually watched a non-spoiler review from Joe Blow Movies, and I seen part of the scenes, and I'm like, this looks so cool. This is like, it's gonna be cool. Like, does that guy give real reviews? Like, I don't think he does now that I've seen 3 episodes. I do think from what I understand, I listened to Purchase video, but from what I understand, the issue was like, maybe.
Well, she sums it up pretty well, actually. Honestly, I wasn't going to say anything publicly, but now that Netflix Bebop has been canceled, I would like to point out that the main issue was not Ed or Vicious, but rather that it recreated a piece of media with defined political statements and removed every last one. Oh, wow. In the original series, we're introduced to a world that, despite being set in the future when humans have traveled to the far reaches of the galaxy, they still face all of today's inequities. So much so that it's normal for bounty hunters to compete with one another for a living. Spike had to fake his own death to escape the criminal enterprise he once was a part of, an insidious organization that quietly causes suffering everywhere its reach extends. We only ever catch the glimpse of the syndicate, but their subtle influence is felt throughout the show.
Right.
Jet leaves his police career behind after being betrayed by his partner and discovering that literally every other competence department also was corrupt. The original series very intentionally shows that rogue bounty hunters have a higher moral code than actual police officers. Faye is woken from cryosleep and swindled, not only by a con man, but also by the hospital staff who work with him. She is in massive debt because of exorbitant charges that got tacked onto her medical bills, revealing an all too familiar broken system that ruins people's lives. Gren is a war veteran who is unjustly imprisoned. We know about this one, and medically experimented on.
Yep.
When Gren finally confronts Vicious for his betrayal, he appears not even to remember Gren at all. To the Syndicate, everyone's expendable. Ed and Ein are the smartest character on the Bebop, subverting expectations that are based only on appearances and acting as the glue that really binds Spike, Jet, and Faye together throughout the majority of the show. Ed's departure is the herald of Spike's demise. There's a blink and you'll miss it moment in the movie with Punch, one of the hosts from the Bounty Hunter Leader show, Big Shot, aka Alfredo, admitting to his mother that he's been let go from his job and he's completely dropped the fake accent he put on it for the audience. The original made it a point to focus on the struggles of poor and working class people within the dystopian future, often spending entire episodes to show how established systems and power structures have harmed not only the main cast, but every single side character as well. Throughout that, the live-action version of CB erases all of these details instead of prioritizing the exterior cool factor of each character, ridding them of the majority of their original motivations, effectively hollowing them out and turning them into shallow, unrelatable versions of himself. Jet is no longer the only good cop in his squadron. Now there's just one bad guy here, his partner, of course, making his reasoning for leaving everything he took pride in feel muddled and removing the original show's statement on police corruption entirely.
Yep.
Faye in the original show was a capable, crafty femme fatale in massive medical debt who, on an exterior layer of sass, was a compassionate and loyal friend who was desperately terrified of being abandoned. The live-action version is written mostly as a capital G girl boss.
Yep.
Oh, here's the big one. In the OG, Vicious was like sort of like Jaws. We only saw a dorsal fin every now and then, and that's all we needed. He was terrifying because of all the blanks we had to fill in ourselves. In the live action show, he's belligerent and incompetent and not a worthy nemesis for Spike. This version of Cowboy Bebop is a hollow, vapid, sometimes literal shot-for-shot remake that removes most of what made the original series so interesting and endearing. I could go on, but this thread is too long already, and I think you get the point. Just watch the anime. Sorry, one more thing. For all the effort that live action puts into the surface level diversity and representation, capital D, capital R, it actually somehow ended up less diverse than the anime. Just saying.
Oh my god, that's literal perfection. I have two problems with that.
Yeah.
First off, why did she have to wait to say it until it was canceled?
Oh, I agree. I agree with that one.
That's silly. She should feel.
I think because she thought it was going to get better with the next season, I think.
That could be. But no one should have to feel like they can't criticize something. Like, there's a lot of people out there that won't criticize something because the right doesn't like it or something like that. Yep. And I don't think you should ever have to wait. If you criticize something because you're being fair about it.
But I would say it's like how I did when I saw The Force Awakens. I refused to complain about Rey because she was new and everything, and I wasn't going to assume Mary Sue until the next movie. Unfortunately, the next movie confirmed she was a Mary Sue, so...
Right.
But I was willing to wait. I was willing to wait for the next movie to make a concrete decision, and I think that's the same thing Jen was doing.
And I understand that, but she has absolutely... And it's funny because we have this conversation way too often, and I probably shouldn't bring it up, but, like, everything that she talks about within Cowboy Bebop, the original, is what people say they hate in
Yep.
But and she's right on. Like, that was the perfect way to say it. It removed... and I don't even think that a lot of people... after a couple episodes, gave it a chance further than that. Like,
yeah, because they lost them already.
It was okay. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it
like she said, it was hollow. It felt hollow. It felt hollow.
That's the way to put it. And I don't even know because I didn't get through it. Did they even give Faye her amnesia stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, Raya, we get it.
But sorry, Tristan, that's not the world we live in. Regardless of your political spectrum you fall under, if you criticize the wrong thing, you get dogpiled by the media. Yeah, you're right, on both sides.
Yeah, you get dogpiled on both sides.
It doesn't matter if I speak out against, Son of Kal-El number 5. It wasn't great. It was okay.
The animal was...
The last one. Yeah. Okay, no, actually, I have a perfect example of this. Am I echoing?
Not on my end, I don't think.
Okay. I have a perfect example of this. I am willing to criticize something if it is not good. Yesterday, I criticized the Marvel Voices book.
Oh, yep, I know where you're going with this.
That
I know
weirdness with Miles and
Anya.
Woman.
Anya.
Yeah, with the Latinx, right?
Yep.
I get a comment
yep.
from... I'm getting an echo from Tristan. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Whoops.
Okay,
that's weird. I don't hear it.
Okay. Hello.
How does it sound now?
Hello.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm totally going to be that guy today. I told you so.
Ominous.
Yes, I admit.
You were very right. Oh, I'm on bidirectional, not cardio. See if that helps.
Yep, but anyway, you were talking about
her amnesia. I didn't make it that far. Okay, so let me. Okay, I think I got it fixed.
You were talking about that one guy who commented saying, "Who are you to pull?" And to speak for everyone.
Yes, and what I did was that Latinx. I even talked to Bianca earlier in the day when we recorded our video. she was talking about how the Hispanic community hates it. There has been a lot of people that have spoken out in the Hispanic community that say they hate it. There was a recent poll that said only 4% of people like it. And they put it in that book. So I said, this is not comics. Luckily, this isn't normal, but this is not comics.
Exactly.
People on both sides hate me, and that's okay. I'm kind of used to it at this point, but I get forced adversity going, did you take a poll?
Yeah, what the heck?
Do you speak for every comic fan? No, motherfucker, I speak for myself.
What the heck? You have him on and he treats you like that. It's like, what the hell?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of used to it, but it's thought policing.
Yeah.
I criticize hate a lot.
Yep.
But I'm not trying to thought police. I'm trying to point out the lies or misinformation within it. I am not going to bend when I'm not going to not criticize something because I think it's bad. Just because the left doesn't want me to criticize it. Same goes for the right. And it's a lot of the reason why the fandom menace hates me. And that's because I liked The Last of Us too.
That's what started it. That's what
started all of it. Me liking a fucking video game, I became an enemy.
You became persona non grata.
And that's it. This is reality we live in.
And if it wasn't that, liking Revelations would have done it.
Oh yeah, I have no taste apparently, I guess. And I'm not gonna lie. As somebody who doesn't watch a lot of media, I get it. I may not be the perfect person to really criticize or even point out stuff, but I am allowed to go on my channel that I created and work my ass off and tell you my opinion.
Exactly.
If you don't like it, that's okay too. But don't try to thought police me.
Exactly.
You're not gonna win this argument. You don't own the platform. Like that pissed me off, and I was just like, yeah, normal shit from the left, because he can. I literally asked him in his stream one time, why do you call people Nazis? Like, that's offensive to Jewish people. And he's like, well, they have the same political. You can call people Nazis, but I can't criticize a comic book. You are lost if that's truly how you do things. Yeah.
What? Okay, I cannot even understand the logic. I cannot even understand the logic in that.
And I noticed, just some guy who I like. I personally like just some guy a lot. I've had him on the channel a couple of times. He's super nice. He's super smart. He knows a lot more when it comes to literature and stuff. But he also is willing to criticize the right, and he's getting it too. Like,
oh yeah.
I shared 2 of his videos that were phenomenal.
Yep, I remember.
The hypocrisy of getting rid of books. We are getting rid of books that teach about human fucking rights.
We're getting Why the Last Man taken out.
Texas is lost. I'm not gonna lie, like, the shit that's going on in Texas, I could not live there. Props to just some guy, yeah.
Yes.
Like, he had my respect anyway. I don't agree with him all the time.
Yep.
But when I seen those last 2 videos he did, I thought, yeah, there's not a lot of integral people out there, but just some guy is. He definitely is. Just some guy gets piled on because of his cutie videos. Huh? I never saw his cutie videos. I'm not
Me
sure.
neither.
I didn't feel everything from Revelations, yet I got told in your comment section I am heartless because I didn't like a fictional character. I'm sorry. If I would have seen that, I would have deleted it. I don't like attacking in my comment section. So I do apologize.
I don't recall I do not recall if that was for me, because I don't recall ever going that far, you know.
I don't mind a good back and forth. I think that.
Right. Which I don't mind either, but I don't think I would ever go saying you're heartless for that.
No, if you don't like it, that's okay.
Well, yeah.
Don't hate me because I do.
And don't expect me to see things the way you're seeing it. That's where I draw the line. Do not expect to be like...
Respect people's beliefs on both sides. It's that easy.
No one does that anymore. Agree to disagree is basically, from what I've heard some people say, Okay, it wasn't me. All right, but I was say I've always been hearing so many people who say agree to disagree is pretty much the way of saying, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to shut up, but I'm going to keep on judging you."
I don't think so. I think
Me
agree to
neither.
disagree is respecting each other's beliefs
Exactly. When it's something
and
that's not
what
that important.
yeah, and it's not worth it's not worth it. I'm so glad that Forced Diversity turned out to be what I thought of him and his videos. I think Tabernacle belongs in the same tribe. I don't agree with all your points, but at least you tried. And that's it. That's what I try to do, Jack. And I was really disappointed. Not really disappointed because I kind of knew how he was. Like,
Yeah.
I find it very hypocritical that he makes fun of the right for having political channels and then's like, I've got a political podcast now. Okay.
It's like
You
my
can't.
problem
You
with
are,
him.
and they're definitely two sides of the same coin, right?
Exactly.
They put their, and he to be fair, he has some good points on comics always being political or having social, those kind of things I can agree with him.
So look at what Samuel just said.
Kept saying 2 steps ahead and kept thinking in perspective people saw defending that movie when in fact he okay. I think if I think it's only fair. I watch bless you. I
Thank you.
watch Cuties for the for a video to review it.
Yep.
But I you know, I don't want to be somebody that polices art. And that's not my job. I'm glad that's not my job. Netflix put it on. You just have to deal with it.
And accept the backlash. There's going to be people who are going to drop it and never buy it again because they think you're supporting that.
But the thing is, they accepted the backlash, and they accepted the backlash with Cowboy Bebop and Dave Chappelle. So at least they're being very
consistent in their acceptance.
In their across the board. Like people were making videos when they defended Daniela Padina, I think her name is.
Yep.
They were like, how? That's so unprofessional. And now they're making videos that they're defending Dave Chappelle and they're like, that's so cool.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
Yes. And I think it's good that Netflix defends their companies. I don't think about going to work and your boss just not giving a shit and not defending you against a rabid customer. It would feel terrible.
Yeah.
So I get it. I think I have no issue with Netflix defending anyone. I think it's professional.
Yep.
I'm just glad I'm not the one who has the police content. I'd be like, everything can exist. I'm sorry, what?
Exactly.
Like, it would be terrible.
Yeah. Okay, the better phrase is instead of rules, it should be standards for thee, but not for me. It's those people who think like, you should be giving us, you should give us respect, but we do not have to give you respect.
Except for Netflix, She-Ra, but they've gotten better. Did they I don't know about
They defend. Oh, that was when they defended and called out the fans, calling them, the usual, istophobes and all that. Yeah, back was She-Ra, Netflix She-Ra. Their PR went right away to saying anyone who doesn't like it is an istophobe.
Oh, see, I don't remember much of the She-Ra. That was before I did videos. Plus, I'm not a huge She-Ra person anyway. But they could have done simply what they did with Faye and just put, this is our She-Ra. That's enough defense. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, but don't go to, like, there obviously is those type of people out there, but as a company, it's.
Now, if it's the people who worked on the show doing it, that's completely different than Netflix themselves doing it. But I think a lot of people
want to defend your product anyway.
Yeah, but I think there's people who want to combine saying Netflix is saying this too, and it's like, no, they're not.
Were they talking about people like The Quartering and Clownfish TV that made
any of those? Anyone who had a bad opinion is what they were saying.
Well, what did people not like about She-Ra? I don't remember.
They changed a lot. They made a lot of the characters, a lot of they took the character of Beau, they made him black, but he also was more ineffectual. They basically turned any type of person who was a guy, most of the other guys, except for Beau, were either ineffectual or evil or just dumb.
That's what they did with Arcane. That's my biggest issue with Arcane.
And yet people are praising it. People are praising it.
I actually find that funny. I was talking to Bianca about that yesterday. It's like loved, right? And it's great animation, don't get me wrong, but every male character in there is weak or evil. And it is super like I don't even want to use the term. It's super SJW. You got the typical tropey I am a lesbian brute girl. Like it is so tropey.
The butch lesbian.
Yes. It's so tropey and I've got 3 more episodes left. So that'll be not Monday's video, but the next Monday. But it's so fucking tropey. And they're like, we love this show. Like, wait, you just hated this in
like in the CGI, like in the CGI He-Man, and yet they're saying, oh, like with the Revelations, how dare they make this character, which we almost never heard about, but she was in the comics, black, and yet they're perfectly fine with making Teela black in the CGI show.
Again, rules for thee, but not for me.
Yeah, or I guess you could say outrage for thee, but not for me.
It's a way to sell. It's a way to sell your brand. Hate sells. Hate
by the way, it's
not. And unfortunately, like you can break it all down, but this just all comes down to capitalism, and they know hate sells, and that's okay. Yep. You do you. I can't do that. I can't. I want to make videos about stuff I love. I want to sit here and talk about Geiger and stuff that I enjoy. But there is going to be times when I'm critical of something. If something that I love disappoints me, I'm not afraid to say so. And I don't think anybody should.
But I'm not going to assume I'm going to hate it off the bat. That is where I think the big problem is. These people want to start just jumping on, assuming the worst from the moment it's announced.
And I actually, I praise Riot Kitty because she's always willing to have a conversation. I think that's shows that, you know, she's got there's a lot of good to her character. The biggest fans of Netflix shippers, yeah. Love but not on
shippers are some of the most toxic. Shippers are some of the most toxic fans out there. They're the type of people who don't care about the writing, don't care about anything but making sure that their ship is canon, even if it doesn't make sense in continuity.
Every once in a while, I'll be like, I love them together. So I ship, but I'm not psycho.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I ship a lot of characters, too. I'm a guy. I admit it. I ship.
I do, too. Like, when Harley and Ivy kiss for the first time, I'm like, full Chillmonger put love sells, too, but not on what... Chillmonger's going to be on my stream on Sunday. Just so you guys
cool.
Check out his channel.
I should point out that, here's an example. I ship Godzilla and Mothra.
Aren't those
Mothra.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Yep.
Hardcore shippers are the worst.
Yes, those are the worst. The hardcore, the ones that are like in the Ruby show. Oh God.
The ones that demand it within continuity.
Yes.
You can have a headcanon, that's fine.
Oh yeah, but they're the ones. Like here's an example. In the show Ruby, there's a point where you have these two characters who they've been teasing anything for a while because the fans have been demanding it. There's a point where the characters are separate. Blake and Yang are their names. They're separated for a while. They eventually come back, but when they come back, one of their friends is really hurt. So it's like they meet up, and then you have a point where they they have a moment. They just look at each other, and yet all the shippers saying, "Why didn't they kiss? We should have had the kiss there. They should have kissed. This is a great moment to kiss." It's like now's not the time, guys.
Yeah. That. Social media.
Whoa! Riot Kitty really for shipping Crow and Winter when they're close? And Winter's about a bit younger, but she's not a kid. She's a grown adult woman, and yet they're what?
I've noticed a lot of people go to, I've noticed that a lot of people go to that insult.
Either saying a pedo or
don't let it bother you. It's just a way to otherize you to make you the enemy, and there's no reason for that.
Exactly. And then you have or then again, but you also do start to see people do stuff like all that crazy fan art of Spider Gwen being pasted and then
oh my God, I seen that well, when the trailer came out, I seen that like the next day, and they like made her tits huge and stuff,
or her ass big.
Well,
she's 50. If I'm right, she's 16, 17. But yeah, I know what you mean.
That's still a kid. Like I'm old. That's a kid.
If they did the Felicia, Black Cat, I'd understand, but
Right, that's a little different. I'm not joking. It was a push.
Crow and Clover shipping in Volume 8 and nothing else. Yeah, that's what it is. Basically, they feel like if you go for any other shipper, then you must be a pedo or something.
Yeah, that's it's just like I said, it's just a way to otherize someone. It's just a way to make you the enemy and make you not a person behind your name and make it okay to call you names. It's just a bullying tactic. And
It's like, both sides do it.
Fucking ignore it, and that's
both sides do it though. That's the problem.
Sides do. Oh yeah, I've seen it. The right calls people pedos all the time.
No, not just the pedos. Just call them an SJW. Oh, persona non grata.
Yeah, don't you remember a long time ago? Didn't Comicsgate do that to somebody about a book?
Yep.
Calling him a pedo and stuff like that. It's just.
Now one person ended up getting arrested, if I recall. Someone that you and I were. Yeah, well, you remember who I'm talking about, right?
The guy that did Little Girl Lethal or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You call people pedos for their books, and then you end up having pedos in your side. Like, and you can't blame all of Comicsgate.
Oh no, obviously not.
Like you're gonna have toxic people in any sort of fandom, and that's just the ones you gotta ignore and really kind of just condemn it, I guess is the way to do it. Like, I didn't know, I'm sorry, this is over. Or homophobic, we don't like Blake and Yang
as a ship. Again, because they feel it's the one true ship, and unfortunately the creators then start to cater to them. That's when the problem is. That's when the problem is. When the creators start to cater to them, when it clearly wasn't the direction they wanted to go, and then they feel like, yes, we can manipulate the creators.
Yeah, and that's, or like when it gets to a harassment campaign like the Snyder Cut stuff.
Oh,
you gotta look at it and go, that is too much, right? You're gonna drive people, like, I don't know what situation you were talking about, Kitty, but
but did you also know that
about suicide? That's a harassment campaign. That's fucking ridiculous, and that's when the person should not only use some sort of blockchain or something like that, but they should also just take a couple days off. Shut your phone off. Just, don't let that drive. I get it. I've been at the other side of it, and I know how fucking hard it is to deal with it. But you just have to walk away. You just have to.
Yep, but I was going to say, speaking of a different topic, have you been hearing people both complain about Supergirl's finale for claiming they were queer baiting her and Lena Luthor, whatever her name is? Yeah, they didn't go with that, so they're saying, "Oh, you were queer baiting us," and yet people are then praising or complaining about Tom Taylor having Diana getting together with Kala in Dark Knights of Steel. Oh yeah, I'm already seeing people
complaining about that.
Oh, I've already seen some people tweeting out saying, "Oh, see, I knew it. They're trying to make all the straight characters gay." It's like, it's an alternate universe. Nope, it's gonna come to the main universe. Just you wait.
But Wonder Woman is queer.
Oh yeah, but they're saying again, these are the same people who complained about saying, "Oh, she's always been straight." No, she's always been.
Like. Do they not realize who her creator was? Like, look at her creator. Her creator she was based off of a polyamorous relationship. The wife and the lover were queer. Like, she lives on I don't understand.
She grew up on an island of women. See, these are the people who think they never had urges. Zero urges. Never had urges whatsoever during their entire time there. It's like, you always have urges. They're always going to come up. Now, does that mean they were all screwing out of love? No, of course not. I wouldn't say that.
Right, but there's no reason why they wouldn't.
What's happening with Latita, right? Letitia, what's going on? Isn't that she's not wanting to come back because they're insisting on her doing the vaccination.
Just recast her.
That's what they're doing.
It's that big of a deal. Like, I hate to be that person, but if your company is mandating it, then maybe you don't want to work for that company, or maybe you do, depending on your beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was injured, though. I thought that was a rumor.
Yeah, but that was the only way for her to come back after that.
I mean, it's been going on a long time.
Yep. Oh, quick thing I asked. Did you see the Sonic 2 trailer?
Yes, I did.
Doesn't that look like when you think about what a video game movie should be? That was it.
Yeah, but I was confused. I thought Knuckles was a good guy.
He when he was first appeared, he was tricked by Eggman.
Okay, so that's where they're going. That makes sense. Yep. Yeah, it looks amazing. She's anti-vax, so she's out. And that's a shame, and I don't agree with it, but it is a private company, and a private company has the right to do with what they want, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you might argue...
Even if I don't agree with it, mm-hmm. I agree in having your own personal freedoms. It's a private company. You can't mandate that. You can't. It's not a U.S. thing. It's a private company that's mandating it. So just
exactly. And I gotta say, I mean, I say this.
I'm not being heartless. I'm being honest. A private company should be able to do what they want.
I agree. I agree with you completely. Yep. Let's be honest. An island full of women and no men. Of course, they were doing it.
Glenn did feel that Wonder Woman could influence children to question their sexuality. Where per 10 cent plague? What is that?
I don't know.
I'll have to look it up. I mean, regardless, even like in mythological times, nobody queer was not an issue. Like I don't get what people have issue with. I
would say this, Glenn.
I would make me understand. There's something there, but I won't understand. I
can't either.
I shared a story yesterday. Yeah, I won't be convinced that there's a problem with it because love is love. It's that simple.
Yep, Glenn. I would argue that I think there was a brief time when Jim Carrey was one of the more overrated actors at a point, but he's after his own choices, he then backed away from a lot of that acting, and then eventually he's gotten better when he gets the right role. When he doesn't, he's a pain in the ass.
Oh, Chillmonger. See, I didn't know that. So that was me speaking out of ignorance, but actually it was a mandate for traveling. Okay. So it's her country that's making her do it. I don't know where I know she's overseas, but I don't know where. So that's her country. I'm not being mean, and I like her as Shuri. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see her have to be recast. But at some point, you have to go, well, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to see Nubia and Wonder Woman 3? I think so. I hope so. Like, she's been around since the 1970s. Bring her in. Give that girl some love. They had Philibus in there that never got a spotlight. They race swapped Artemis, never got a spotlight. But no Nubia? Like, Nubia's the shit.
Yeah.
Bring her in.
And wasn't Artemis a background character?
Yeah, I didn't even know it was her until...
they race swapped her.
I think it was Bianca pointed it out to me.
Yeah, I was like, what? So, hey, since we got a little bit of time before we get going, though, let's just get right back to Geiger for a moment.
Okay.
Because I really do have the point we forgot to bring up. I mentioned before about the stuff with Henry. It's a bit similar to the stuff with in Noctera with her brother.
Yeah, he definitely gave me Emery vibes.
Yeah, definitely much so. But which one do you think was more effective?
Ooh.
I think it was Henry because it came more out of nowhere. Yes, it was a case of you gotta wait. It's like a ticking time bomb, but okay, Infamy, really?
Infamy is so funny. I really like him.
I said this question if he's your own. What's the name of that guy who's bothering Perch?
Yes, Mumbles.
Mumbles. I wonder if he's your own Mumble sometimes.
Infamy so funny. It's like, I knew you were gonna like this shit. I'm like, yeah. We kind of disagree on everything, but he's still hilarious.
Yep. But
what is it?
Oh yeah, 1 cent is a book.
All right, I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna look it up because I find that premise Oh, I can't move anything. I'm on the wrong side. I find that premise very odd, and if it is, it's probably something that was before the Comics Code Authority, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'll have to look into it. I don't know enough. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know enough, but I that definitely did not push Marston to change anything. I'm not sure what we're talking about here.
We were talking about Geiger and Noctera. So remember, was that?
Yes. But as far as I forget the older sister's name. If you're comparing that to Val, I found Val a lot more.
Oh, Val was definitely a better. No, I think I agree with that one. But as far as with the kid with the disease or stuff, like one's a ticking time bomb than the other. I still think the reveal of it, the blow of it, and the artwork made it more effective. And I think that's the advantage Gary Frank has over Tony Daniel. Tony Daniel, his strength is in his background. Gary's is in everything.
Yeah. There was some amazing art that came out of Noctera. Like, I'm just gonna go there. I don't care. The way he draws women is beautiful. It's seductive and sultry and something that, like, there was a picture of Val laying, I think it was on the truck, and it just kind of shows her like hourglass figure, and I'm damn, like, she's thick, like, she looks amazing.
Yep, she does. He's great with women. His women are great too. But I think Gary Frank works in that old-fashioned comic way, like George Perez type or Dave Gibbons type.
Yeah.
Whereas Tony Daniels is more in that modern art way.
Yep, exactly. And
the Jim Lee, post-Jim Lee styles.
Yeah, and I think they're both very effective. I love them both. I think they're both amazing. I would say, overall, as far as comparing art to art, Tony Daniels does suffer in some place. I would say that I would probably choose Gary Frank, even though he draws a little bit old. Maybe that's just showing my age, right?
Yeah, the old school style.
Yes, and that's what I love. I love it all, don't get me wrong. But, like, he's so effective in his visual storytelling that hey, infamy or death, we agree. Yep,
and they both return the same week.
And that's why it's so hard, because you just compare them in your head and you don't even mean to.
Yeah, they were right next to each other. Yeah, December 22nd. That's in 2 weeks.
That is Oh, isn't it the Blackfoot Bill?
Yeah, the Blacktop Bill and the 80-page giant. Yeah,
I can't wait. Blacktop Bill is so effective as a villain.
Yep.
He's just like, you don't understand anything about him, or he's got nano something.
Now, I think that's the other advantage Tony Daniel has. He's a bit faster than Gary Frank is. But probably because Gary Frank is more detailed in his artwork.
That is very true.
Because Noctera is going to be well ahead. It's going to probably be done with its second act by the time Geiger Junkyard Joe comes out.
Yes. And I love that Blacktop Bill. I thought he was such like cunning villain. He did such a good job, like, making you hate him but kind of love him at the same time. It was amazing. Did you know that only true blonde people?
I don't know about.
I did not know that. I also did know that you can buy blonde at a beauty shop. I didn't know that though, bro.
Well, imagine if you were a blonde.
Oh my god, I've been blonde before. I look weird. Blonde doesn't work for me.
Understandable.
But
yeah, I hear you. But so yeah, we should start wrapping up. I gotta get back to work anyway. But Tristan, thank you for coming on and talking with me about Geiger.
No problem. I love talking just about comics. The fun part of it.
But I want you to agree something to me. You know my birthday is next month, correct?
Yes, I did know that.
I would like you to come on and discuss the Batman Ninja Turtles trilogy.
Oh my god! So you want to torture me?
No, hey, would that be a good birthday gift or what?
Yes, it would. I will do that for you for your birthday. Oh my god! I have to read Ninja. So what issues? The crossover, correct?
The whole trilogy. You do not have to read the Adventures crossover because that'll be. I'm not going to suffer you through 4 miniseries, just the 3.
Okay, I can.
And Bianca gets here at the last second
as we're wrapping up. Yeah.
All right, make a note of that, people. God. Make a note of that, people. She promised.
Fucking turtles.
Hey, does Mike get you over it? You might finally get over your hatred for them.
No. No. They're fucking turtles. Fine. It might help, but, I'll never forgive. I
know. Yeah, we saw your comment, Bianca. Them. I understand. So, yeah. Wait. They're actually adapting Geiger, right?
No, I don't. It hasn't been announced, but he's saying there's going to be serious trouble. I don't think they'll have issue with Noctera.
No. Geiger would. Geiger. I think Geiger might be a bit.
Geiger would be a lot harder, but Noctera is a lot of the shots are going to be in the dark, so it's going to be a little bit cheaper as far as CGI and stuff goes because you can use that dark to your advantage in the different shots.
Exactly.
Right? Something like Malignant, where they use a lot of that dark aspect, and I think they could do it. I think it would almost be better have something Noctera be a horror film and have it done by James Wan. That would be ideal. But I know they're going for streaming.
Yep. Last thing, Bianca, too. I happen to Turtles. Tristan just agreed to come back on my show next month, and we go over Batman and Ninja Turtles.
I have to fucking read about some. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Batman! Don't forget Batman's involved too, so you can at least stay there for Batman. You can stay there for Batman for Damien too.
We need Batman beyond live action. Hell yes.
All right. Agree. So gotta go. Thank you all for joining. Again, thank you, Tristan, for coming on.
No problem whatsoever. Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you all the next one. Take care.